global platform now that Caitlin will have coming into the professional ranks. So it's really a great time to be in basketball.
Caitlin Clark is clearly a catalyst for a business that was, and let's be honest, Caitlin to some degree financially saved the WNBA. It was hemorrhaging money for years.
To build, you have to scale, and ultimately expansion had always been on my list. But we didn't want to rush into it because we wanted new owners, like new ownership groups. Anyone who knows sports here knows, like, it's a slog to be a sports owner.
How would you prevent your most important asset, Caitlin Clark, from going to a rival company? Just hours ago, the WNBA provided the world with an answer to this query. The world has gone crazy about Caitlin Clark, a name synonymous with basketball excellence.
Hi, Caitlin.
Hey, what's up, Caitlin? Hey, Caitlin. Hey, Caitlin.
Caitlin Clark.
Renowned for her intense competition and astounding range. After being selected by the Indiana Fever in the draft, Clark was anticipated to take the WNBA to new heights.
Indiana Fever select Caitlin Clark, University of Iowa.
But according to recent rumors, Clark may decide to leave the WNBA and go to Europe in order to pursue the rich contracts that await her. However, the WNBA is now willing to make an unprecedented offer of an ownership stake. Caitlin Clark's arrival in the WNBA was expected to be a game-changer for the Indiana Fever, who wanted to keep her on U.S. territory.
I actually looked up how much the tickets are going for. I kind of cut that price in half.
Sites like SeatGeek are charging hundreds and thousands for a seat at Carver Hawkeye. She says the attention for the sport has grown a lot in the 15 years she's been a super fan.
The WNBA saw Clark as their golden ticket following an incredible college career in which she broke attendance records and attracted millions of viewers. Her ability to attract super fan crowds, boost TV viewership, and increase attendance to levels never seen by the league before made her the most anticipated rookie in recent WNBA history. The Indiana Fever, who had trouble with attendance and performance, saw their numbers plummet after selecting Clark.
And the Fever are going to be over 200,000 higher than the next highest total attendance in league history. Clarkonomics, my friend!
Many people thought she could completely change the franchise on her own. Thus her capacity to attract fans wasn't merely conjecture while she was in college. Years. During her first season in the league, Clark's games became must-watch events, resulting in some of the most viewed games in women's basketball history and an almost fourfold increase in Indiana Fever attendance. This helped the WNBA have one of its finest seasons in terms of TV ratings.
Getting more and more people, and it's getting bigger, it's getting louder, and it's a very fun environment to be in.
For the WNBA, Caitlin Clark was a lighthouse for the future, not simply a player.
Caitlin Clark is clearly a catalyst for a business that was, and let's be honest, Caitlin to some degree financially saved the WNBA. It was hemorrhaging money for years.
But even though her WNBA debut was thrilling, the records continue to roll in. European teams were vying for Caitlin Clark's financial stability with attractive offers. Europe has a long history of drawing elite WNBA players with greater earnings and competitive competition, which was a significant lure. Players like Diana Taysai and Breanna Stewart have publicly talked about how playing in Europe gave them financial stability.
Like there's that 4-year period where you need to grow as a person, but then the NIL comes into play. Oh, we keep walking right back into that.
That the WNBA was unable to match when Clark saw these chances, she started to think about sending her skills across the Atlantic because of the stark cost difference. Players can increase their earning potential by accepting contracts from European teams that are greater than what the WNBA currently offers.
500,000, $1 million off your NIL? Are you staying?
Regarding Caitlin Clark, Europe offers her not only the possibility to safeguard her financial future, but also the opportunity to participate on a worldwide scale and earn a good living, with a number of elite European teams apparently providing millions given the genuine ownership stake and the potential loss of Caitlin Clark to Europe. Clark had to make the tough choice to play in the WNBA at home for a lower pay or move to Europe and increase her earnings. In a move unprecedented in women's sports, the WNBA granted Clark a share in the Indiana Fever. This was a daring move that recognized Clark's significance to the league's future ownership. Stakes are typically reserved for seasoned athletes nearing the end of their careers or for people with substantial business endeavors. For example, Michael Jordan's ownership of the Charlotte Hornets offers a player and ownership stake at such a young age, which is unprecedented but shows how much the WNBA values Clark and recognizes her ability to influence women's basketball in the future. Clark is viewed as a long-term investment by the league and the Fever's ownership group. If she stays, she will participate in the team's financial choices in addition to playing for the Fever. Sports teams' long-term strategy and expansion over the last 5 years have caused their worth to soar, fueled by an increase in media rights agreements, growth in global fan engagement and sponsorship, the expansion of the WNBA, and the general increase in sports appeal. Leagues like the NBA, NFL, and European football are where this growth is most noticeable, but other leagues like the WNBA over the past 5 years, franchise values in MLB and NHL have also increased significantly, while NFL team valuations have increased by more than 40%. The WNBA is rapidly becoming the league with the most runway to follow suit after this season's attention. This year alone, the Indiana Fever's valuation has soared to over $90 million, which is nearly 40% growth this year alone due to the new media deal and mostly due to CeCe's arrival. MLB has grown by more than 42%, and the NHL has grown by more than 50%.
WNBA has seen record-breaking numbers this season in viewership, ticket sales, merch sales, and just overall growth.
That's probably just the start. Clark's ownership stake will enable her to build long-term wealth and position her to become the first female basketball player to become a billionaire. She would join Impact Elite, which is exclusive to Serena Williams, as the only female athlete to reach the status of the greatest of all time in their sport and amass hundreds of millions of dollars in net worth. Throughout her time in college, Clark has always been interested in more than just basketball. She talked about expanding the sport and having an influence off the court.
Draft day viewership, which is up 400% to 40%. Between ticket sales, which is up 93% to 16%. Between regular game viewership, which is up 180% to 20%. What Caitlin Clark has done is grown the WNBA exponentially.
No one gives me that in the Bice game, and I wish the WNBA stakes could be higher. This ownership share allows her the opportunity to truly influence how a team is managed and has the potential to affect not only the Fever but the entire WNBA. They see Clark as a game-changing individual who has the ability to elevate the league above its current level. More than merely a setback to the Fever, losing her to Europe would mean the WNBA would have lost out on a chance to expand its fan base.
Nitpicking every single thing I do, and I know I want to help this franchise get even better, help my teammates get even better, be better for my teammates, and I know there's a lot of room for me to
obtain more profitable sponsorships and expand its global footprint in a league where TV viewership has been weak. The presence of Clark could increase viewership numbers, which are currently on the rise, in levels the WNBA has never seen before because of these important players. Long-term inclusion of Clark would ensure the league's expansion. Caitlin.
Nobody gives me advice in game. I wish.
In professional sports, ownership is about more than just money. It's also about power, influence, and legacy players who get ownership. Giving her an ownership stake is about more than simply keeping a good player in the league. It's about securing the WNBA's future. For A'ja Wilson, who has devoted herself to developing her personal and professional brand within the league, the idea of a rookie like Caitlin Clark being offered such a significant status symbol could be seen as undermining the years of hard work and dedication that veteran players like her have put in. Wilson and other WNBA veterans may also view this deal as a sign that league dynamics is changing, giving younger players like Clark significant media attention and fanfare. Stakes like Michael may start to get special treatment in terms of endorsements and opportunities, which could cause division in the rooms.
Not following after Caitlin Clark's been eliminated, and they're not into the league because they're conditioned by the league and the...
Clark's offer would set a precedent that future generations of players could anticipate, potentially making veterans feel underappreciated or left behind as veteran players feel their contributions are being overshadowed by the promise of new stars. This type of deal would position Clark uniquely within the WNBA, giving her long-term financial security in addition to a say in the Fever's business operations. Seeing a rookie receive such opportunities could lead to conflict for someone like Wilson, who has earned respect and recognition for years of dedication. It signifies not only a financial gap, but also a change in the league's value system for its younger, marketable players relative to its more seasoned veterans.
Final WNBA playoff game. 2.5 million viewers.
Appreciate you.
And I think that what she has done for women's basketball, especially in this country, has been phenomenal. There is no woman, no matter how great you were as a player, Cheryl Swoops.
In the end, the NBA's attempt to keep its most marketable talent and Caitlin Clark's rising prominence are symbolized by the offer of an ownership stake, although players like A.A. Wilson may feel envious and frustrated by this move.
Her playing basketball right now is a miracle. Some of the fans that were unhappy with her one play, a defensive play, called for that same tumor for her.
Because it highlights a shift in the league's dynamics where younger media, even seasoned champions, may not be given the same opportunity as centric stars. All eyes are on Caitlin Clark now. Will she accept the NBA's historic offer and become a part owner of the Indiana Fever? Or will she follow in the footsteps of many others and travel to Europe in search of more money up front? This unprecedented deal is likely to have repercussions throughout the league and possibly lead to tensions among the league's best players. All of a sudden, we're pretty close.
Stay ahead of that, try and tamp it down or act as a league when two of your most visible players are involved, not personally it would seem, but their fan bases are involved.
For Clark, this decision could alter the direction of women's basketball because it involves more than just basketball. It involves the legacy she wishes to leave behind. If Clark stays, she becomes a trailblazer and the first player owner in WNBA history. But if she leaves, it will raise even more concerns about the league's ability to retain its stars. In any case, Caitlin Clark is in charge of the WNBA's future. Do you think she will accept the ownership stake and remain in the WNBA, or will please share your ideas in the comments section below? And remember to hit the bell for more and like and subscribe.